Hey guys, it's Tiffany here. So you may hear this little bat. Are you gonna do this the whole video? Huh? Are you? Anyways, so as you can see by the title, this is going to be my labor and delivery video. Yeah, I know it's been like almost 3 months since I've had him. I should have done it a long time ago, but you know, life happens. So I asked you guys on Twitter if y'all wanted to see my hear my labor and delivery video, and most of you guys, well, all of you guys said yes. So here goes my labor and delivery video, story, whatever. Okay, so on August 24th, 2011, I started having contractions that morning. Well, actually, I was having contractions like days before, but they wouldn't be like consistent, you know, enough to go to the hospital. So that morning, I started having contractions, and I went to school, and I would have contractions in class. Like I was sitting in class, and I was, you know, having contractions, and it was just really crazy. I just felt like I was just like a super person, just sitting in class with contractions. So yeah, so then I came home, and I had to do an online test for one of my classes. So I was doing my online test with my mom. My mom was helping me, and throughout the whole test, I was having like contractions, and they were coming on, and they were lasting like a minute long. And my mom was like, Tiffany, you know, we don't have time. Like we had to finish the test. And it was true, because like the test was timed, and it was a final, actually, a final exam. And you know, we had to get it done. So throughout the whole test, I was having contractions. What are you smiling at, crazy? You crazy. After my test, I decided to take a shower to see if they would, you know, stop coming on, you know, to see if I could just see if they would go away. So I took a hot shower. So after my shower, it didn't go away. They were still coming on strong. Like I was in the shower, and I had to like lean over because they were coming. They were lasting for a minute, and this was happening for about an hour. For a little more than an hour, but all day long. But they started to be consistent more within the hour. So after that, I told TJ that I think I need to go to the hospital, because I feel like I'm in labor. Like my contractions are strong, and they're for an hour. What is it? The 511 rule. I called the doctor, and they told me to come to the hospital, which I did. And this was around 9 o'clock at night that we got there. It was around 9ish that we got there, and then they admitted me into the hospital at around at 11 o'clock. Around 11. Then when my doctor was there already at the hospital, and my doctor, she came to check me, and on that point, I was still 1 centimeter dilated, which I had been since I was like 36 weeks, I think. I was still 1 centimeter dilated and 70% effaced. And when I got to the hospital, of course, my contractions would stop being as consistent as they were when I was at home, but I was still having them. But they just weren't as consistent. But they gave me some Nubain for my pain, I guess. And after she gave me that, you are just really hyper right now. After she gave me that, I felt super drunk. It helped a little tiny bit with the pain, but not a lot. So she also hooked me up to the IV because I was dehydrated. I hadn't drinking water all day. So I think that's why I was having contractions. So if you're pregnant, you definitely need to drink a ton of water. All I could eat that day, well, until I had him, was ice chips, and I can drink some water. And that was about it. So then I went to sleep until the next morning. Well, I tried to go to sleep until the next morning, and the only pain medicine I had was the Nubain. So then the next day, 8/25, 2011, the doctor came to check me. My doctor came to check me, and I was 3 centimeters dilated and 80% effaced. So that was around 7 in the morning when she came to check me. And then around 8:30, the nurse came in, and she started me on Pitocin. And I keep looking down because I have my notes right here, my notepad and my phone. So around 8:30 in the morning, they started me on Pitocin, and about every 30 minutes to an hour, she would come back, and she would raise the dose of Pitocin that she would give me. And I would be so pissed off when she would come, because when they give you Pitocin, it's speeding up your labor. So when she did that, every time she turned a little knob or whatever to give me more Pitocin, my contractions would come stronger and faster. And oh my goodness, contractions are no freaking joke. If you have period pains, period cramps, times that by 1,000,000. That's what contractions feel like. Just your stomach just getting tight, and you're just, it just hurts really, 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 really bad. And you could probably tell in my labor and delivery video, like when I'm grabbing TJ's hand and like breathing, trying to breathe through it. That's all you can do, is just breathe, because you just can't do anything about it until they give you the epidural. But anyway, so they did that. She would come back and raise it and blah blah blah. So then at around 11:30, the nurse came and asked me did I want the epidural, and before she could even get the whole word epidural out of her mouth, I was telling her, yes, bring me the daggone epidural. I didn't say that, but yeah, I wanted the epidural at the time. So I went about 8, 9, 10, 11, about 3 hours having strong contractions before having the epidural. So yeah, I couldn't go any longer. So they came in at around 11:30, whatever, and they gave me the epidural. Everybody had to leave the room, so it was just me, a nurse, and the anesthesiologist. And I was scared because, like, things that I've heard about the epidural, like you can get paralyzed or stuff like that. I don't know if this stuff is true, because a lot of stuff I was told during my pregnancy just wasn't true, and it was different from what I experienced. So yeah, I was afraid for him to do it. So I was holding on to the nurse. She was in front of me, and I was like having contractions, really strong contractions at this time, and I was trying to tell the doctor, you know, don't do it while I'm having a contraction. I'm scared I'm gonna move. And he's like, well, we have to do it sometime, and blah blah. So but he did it, and let me tell you, the epidural did not hurt at all. Like, the pain that you're gonna experience with contractions is worse than the epidural. Like, the epidural, it does not hurt. Mine did not hurt. From everybody telling me, oh, it's going to be a big needle, it's going to hurt. But well, it did not hurt at all. So if you're scared to get an epidural, don't be, because I promise you it's nothing. So yeah, I got the epidural, and like literally maybe 5 minutes, well, not even 5 minutes after that, my legs were numb and I could not feel any contractions. I could not feel them at all. Like TJ would be like, well, did you feel a contraction? Because you could see the contractions on the chart. I could not feel them at all. They were super like high, strong, and I did not feel them at all. So whoever made the epidural, I just want to give you a big hug, because I could not have done it without it. Okay, so that was around 11:30, and then so around 12 o'clock, another nurse came to check me again, and by that time I was 6 centimeters dilated, and the nurse actually accidentally broke my water, but we didn't find out until later on. Yeah, so when she checked me, she broke my water. But I didn't feel it. I didn't feel water coming out. I didn't feel her break it. I didn't feel anything. So about an hour later, my doctor, my actual doctor, came back and to check me. And when she came to check me, I was 9 centimeters dilated, and I was 100% effaced. And when she checked me, that's when she realized that my water was broken. After that, it was just the waiting game, waiting for Jaden to come down, I guess. I don't really know what they meant by that, because I thought that he was already down, so I was 100% effaced. I thought he was already, you know, right there, but I guess not. So we were waiting for him to come down, and during that time, he, I guess they could tell on the chart that he wasn't getting enough oxygen. I guess because every time I would get a contraction, his heart rate would go down. So they'd turn me upside down, like tilt the bed like this way, where my head's down here, to see if he would get oxygen that way. And then they rolled me over on one side to see if it would help. Then they rolled me over on the other side to see if that would help. And then I guess none of that helps, so they gave me the oxygen mask or whatever. That kind of scared me, but he was okay. So then after that, after he finally, I guess, got down and everything was fine, it was time for me to push. So he started to push around 5 o'clock. Yeah, so around 5 o'clock, I started to push. I did 5 practice pushes. I did not feel like I was doing anything. Like, they were telling me, oh, you're doing great, you're doing great. And I'm just like, these people are lying to me, because I do not feel like I'm doing anything, because I could not feel my legs. My legs were so numb. Is that funny to you? Like, when I had to, when they asked me to put my legs up, I couldn't do it. Like, I was trying to pull them, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. So, the nurse had to move my legs for me, hold my legs for me, because I couldn't do it. So I did 5 practice pushes, and then I started doing real pushes, and I pushed for about 45 minutes total, including the practice pushes, and he was here at 5:54 p.m. 5:54 p.m.? I think that's right. Yeah. So he came out, and yeah, when I was pushing, I had the mirror down there, so I could see like his hair coming out. And then when they told me his head was out, I was like, take the mirror away, I don't want to see, I don't want to see. And I didn't look at it. I didn't look when his head was out. My eyes were like closed, and they moved the mirror. I don't know why I didn't want to see. I guess it was just like I don't know. If I would have saw, I probably would have like stopped pushing or something. I don't know. So that's pretty much what happened. And afterwards, you could see what happened on my labor and delivery, like birth video. They took him away to the side, cleaned him up. You know, he started screaming. Yeah, he did start screaming. And, you know, she sewed me up down there. And then that was it. Everything else you can see on the video, I breastfed him, and that was it. So if y'all have any questions about my labor and delivery, let me know, and I will be glad to answer them. If you're pregnant and you just have any questions in general about pregnancy, let me know. So I hope this was very informational, or, you know, just, I don't know, this will be good for me to look back on whenever I want to have baby number 2. Okay, well, I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye. Oh, you know what? I don't think it was fair for me to not show Jaden. He's sitting here making noises the whole time. Y'all hear him. I didn't think it was fair for me to not show him. So here he is. Here him is. Yes. Okay.